Cheap money directly influences property prices. Stay tuned. We're going to talk more about it.
Good morning.
How are ya?
Good. I was a bit worried because I thought, we're going to leave our loyal Morning Minute fans hanging this morning, out to dry. We're extremely, apologetic that we're late. We had some background issues.
Our millions of viewers, we're not going to break your heart. We're here. But what happened, Billy? We don't even know what went wrong.
Well, we don't know how we fixed it, but the problem was we had no audio. And then when we fixed it on one end, then we dropped out on the other. So it was, it would have been a silent episode, bit of lip reading.
The strangest thing. Now, I spent a bit of time this weekend, Saturday night, and even Sunday with a mortgage broker. So money was the hot topic of what we spoke about all of the time. And what do you reckon about this cheap money? Because it's definitely directly indexed. You can see as soon as the rates started moving up, that directly influenced the property prices. As soon as the rates started going down, that directly influenced the property prices.
Yeah, we had a bit of a joke about Big Brother and, like pulling strings. It's a bit of a puppet show. But it's it's good to see that, some of the influences on the market are working, right? So they needed to slow it down, put the rates up a little bit, and it has cooled off. So that's good. But yeah, it's funny. I sort of came into the office this morning and was like to you, Mark, when you have free money, you kind of go crazy. It's like if I won the lottery tomorrow, what would you do with the money? And you just think of all these weird ideas. And it's kind of the same thing with property, but it doesn't have the same effect. People get free money in their equity, but they're still so caught up in the smallest things, whether it be transactional costs or buying and selling. It's strange.
Yeah, look, sentiment is really important, guys and girls. So I think it's a word that we try to understand, bond, interest rates, fixed terms interest rates, 10-year bonds, stock market, and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it comes down to that feeling in your tummy, in your gut, and how that makes you feel. So sentiment is a big thing that really is the manipulator of the way people make decisions. And I think, and I've said it before, we use the word pivot a lot when COVID started. That was the buzzword. The buzzword at the moment now is essential. People are only making decisions and actually doing things that are essential. So they're going off their sentiment, how they feel, and then they're making quality, essential decisions on how to spend their money, even when it comes to buying and selling.
Yeah, 100%. Sentiment drives FOMO, fear of missing out. Good morning, Luke. Good morning, Jeff. Confidence in the market is a big one. I don't think confidence has been knocked. It's just been, there's a different animal buying property now. Essential people buying and selling. But yeah, how free money affects the property market.
Yep. So at the end of the day, look, I think whether it was 0, 1 or 2%, I still call that pretty free money. And it's necessary that the market, we don't get used to that. We're probably not good for it. It's like candy in a candy shop, like you were saying before. So yeah, I think now with those rates coming back, it's pretty good. It's a good idea. Get the country back on track.
Yeah, that's it. Kind of to summarize it into one sentence. With less free money, there is less unessential buying, right? So the people we're seeing now, doing what they need to do.
Now, another topic that we wanted to share with everyone: how many people have taken a holiday this holiday? It has been absolutely crazy And my daughter last night triggered something with me that I thought was that I just didn't think about.
What was that?
Credits.
Credits, yeah, 100%.
So people over the last 2 years have lost, have had holidays credited to them because they've whether it's a hotel's credited back because you couldn't go on the hotel because you couldn't use the hotel because it was COVID. Your air tickets were credited back. Oh, well, they weren't. Sorry, they're not even credited back. They're it's lost me the word, but they were people basically had to use up their holidays before they lost their holidays. So I think a lot of people have done that. Not only that, have you got it with your employer, you've worked up holiday leave, but you've worked it up with airlines, you've worked it up with hotels, and it's like, man, we've got to spend it. Holidays have gone bananas.
It's nuts. I honestly feel like I could name more people overseas, than I could kind of locally at the moment. It's ridiculous. And it's true. Yeah, it's definitely true. I think, people and then another side of that is people feel like they need a holiday. They want a holiday, given that they've kind of not done that last year. So
deserve a holiday.
Deserve a holiday, yeah. And all that combined, people are just jet setting. Definitely Greek islands.
Big time.
What was the other one we've got? Falling auction rates. Clearance
Yeah,
rates.
so that's an interesting one. Don't forget that school holidays is always shit auction rates anyway. So I know they're comparing it year on year, like for like, but it is, if you're going to be auctioning your property, you're certainly not going to be auctioning it in the last 2 or 3 weeks, or you're not putting an auction campaign in the middle of the school holidays. So I think you'll start to see those fueling back those auctions, and there'll be some better successes coming through on that. Although having said that, people are saying auctions are failing because the market's not as strong, but I think people's expectations are just different, aren't they?
Yeah, Lisa's put a good question there. Is it the auctioneer or the agent regarding clearance rates? I think it's,
or the vendor.
Or the vendor.
I think some vendor expectations are off the back of last year, so they think they're going to get last year's prices. They head into an auction with last year's prices. They don't get last year's prices. They blame the auction.
True, and we said we wouldn't refer it back to a property, but I'm finding it hard not to. Standing here right now, we've got one going to auction on Tuesday. Property in Manly. We've had a really good campaign. So despite whatever news is out there, I think with a good agent, you've still got a good campaign. Lisa said great agents will guide vendors through the auction campaign. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and look, having that campaign running, I think the motivation of the owner is just to get a result. Timing is very, very important. They couldn't do any other time. They couldn't choose to put on the market prior or after that school holiday period. But I think that's have a look on Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, guys. I think 6 or 6:30. You're going to be very impressed. It's a beautiful property. There's been really good interest in that, and super motivated owners. They're you know what? It goes back to that essential word. They just needed and wanted to sell that property now, and there's buyers that are out there. You know what, Billy? I think you and I spoke about the other day. We're talking to people. There's a fair bit of cash buyers out there at the moment.
Cash buyers? You think there is?
Yeah. Was that you I was talking with the other day about it?
No, but I've noticed a couple of people, have come out. I don't know if it was our conversation, but I could agree with you there.
Interesting.
Could agree with you. And open home numbers? You had a massive open home on Saturday.
Yeah, so again, good properties. We had 30 odd people through an open house in Sturdy Parade, which was really, really nice and busy. And again, good properties people are really, really after. This was a downsizer style of property. So again, that move, downsizers are like, you know what, we've doubled, tripled, 10 times the value out of value out of our property. We don't
Yeah.
care if we're up or down. We just want to leave, and we just want to buy. So it just shows that downsizer market's super strong.
But yeah, good properties are definitely still going. Auction rates are under the pump. FOMO, no FOMO equals poor price. And then Lisa's answered Luke's question there. So yeah, there's been a lot of vendor communication, obviously, guiding them through daily regarding feedback and price. But yeah, stay tuned on Tuesday night, 6 p.m. on the socials and on site, 11/54 Addison Road, Manly. If you're local, drop through. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah. How many people? How big's the local thing in Manly? It's massive. Hey.
You almost don't realize how big it is until you run one of those proper like campaigns, start to end.
Avalon's like that as well. Like you get your people from your tribe from the area, so passionate about area, buying back only in the area. And Addison Road, Manly is the same thing. It's amazing. The Fresh got a little bit of that going on as well, freshwater. But certainly Manly, yeah, we've seen that a lot.
I don't know. In Avalon, they're called Avcats, but I don't know what they call them in Manly.
Yeah. But, you know what, I think Bondi's got that as well. You know, that these guys they're just so into their suburbs. They just love it.
Little pockets. Well,
Yep.
It's a good address. You know, it's a good property. I'd certainly be buying that if I was getting used to Manly.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's hard to leave once you've lived there.
All right, legend. Guys, have a great day.
Glad we got the episode out. I was a bit worried there.
Mate, I was we were persistent, but yeah, technology.
There you go. Have a good
We're
week.
doing the same thing consistently, and then it changed. So anyway, take care, man. Cheers.
Cheers, bye.
Bye.